What's up? My name is Colby Sharp. I am a 5th grade teacher in the village of Parma. I am super excited to be a featured educator on Middle Grade Book Village, which is an amazing place for lovers of middle grade books to connect with one another. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to answer some questions that the people at the Middle Grade Book Village sent me. Are you ready? Let's go! The first question is, who are my favorite middle grade authors, or what are some of my favorite middle grade books? This is such a hard question because you feel bad about saying one author and not another author, or picking one book and not another book. But like, let's just be honest today. I'm just going to tell you who my 2 favorite middle grade authors are, and that doesn't mean that I don't love a million other books or authors. My 2 favorite, just because they I don't need to justify it. These are my 2 favorite. Jennifer L. Holm, who is the author of 3 Newbery Honor-winning books, including Our Only May Amelia, her very first book, which I love with all of my heart. Turtle in Paradise, which I read to my kids. 14th Goldfish, which is one of my favorite, if not my favorite book written in the last 10 years. And The Third Mushroom, which comes out September of 2018. I love this book so much. You get a chance to hang out with the characters from the 14th Goldfish again. It's phenomenal. And the other, you can't go wrong with Kate DiCamillo. This is Louisiana's Way Home, the companion to Raymie Nightingale, which was a National Book Award finalist. These 2 ladies just capture middle grade characters in a way that makes my heart so happy. And I love both of these books with all of my heart. So 2 favorite middle grade authors, Holm, DiCamillo. That has impacted me most as a teacher is The Book Whisperer by Donald Miller. And I think that this book just provides validation for teaching reading in the way that so many of us feels right and we know is right, and getting kids excited about reading and helping kids to grow as actual readers, not because so that they can take a test, but so that they develop a love of reading and let everything else kind of take care of itself. The interesting thing is, like, when I think about what's in The Book Whisperer, I can't remember what is in The Book Whisperer and what I know from Donalyn from reading in the wild, or what I know from Donalyn from her Nerdy Book Club post, or her tweets, or her Facebook post, or on Instagram. And I think that's one of the really cool ways about learning today is we can read a book and then we can follow that author on social media and follow the different things that they write and the different things that they share. And then the book becomes so much more. This book is a couple hundred pages, but I feel like I have learned through Donalyn through thousands of pages, and because of that I am a better teacher and my students have benefited. So yeah, the most impactful book for me as a teacher is The Book Whisperer. The next question is to talk a little bit about my classroom library, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to make a video, because then I can show you my classroom library. So right here we have all of the graphic novels. Aren't they beautiful? And it's kind of a mess because I didn't prepare for this video. I just hit record. I just hit record when the kids went to lunch. We have our lunch lady tub. Graphic novel tubs are green, are labeled green. Green in the library means a combination of fiction and nonfiction. You can see we have some picture books up here. Tubs 1 to 3 are realistic fiction. Just depending on author last name, I don't organize the picture books that way because it's just too overwhelming. But blue means fiction, and then you'll see yellow over here. Yellow is nonfiction. See here in the abandoned places tub. So you saw the graphic novels. We have realistic fiction. We have some math books here. We have some poetry books here. Realistic fiction continues here, and some historical fiction. This section here is dedicated to authors and series. And this wall, all of this wall, are the fantasy titles in my library. Go all the way up here. You can see these yellow labels, which means nonfiction. This is the nonfiction area of the library. I'm filming this video with 3 days left in the school year, and all of the tubs are bursting. They're overflowing because we've added so many books during the year, and I'm super stressed about that because I know that there are hundreds of books in students' homes and lockers and book boxes. So I have no idea what's going to happen when they start returning all of those books. Probably should do some weeding and just give some books away to kids as the year ends. But that's the library. If you have any questions about the library, I know people are always wanting to learn more about classroom libraries. I know I am. Just leave a question down. You leave your question down in the comments below, and I'll answer them. Isn't it beautiful? I love my library. She's wonderful. The next question is take a picture of something in your classroom and talk about it. So instead of taking a picture, I'm going to make a little video. So this sign here, the village. I teach in the village of Parma. My mom got this sign made for me for Christmas. And the reason is because the village means so much to me. I grew up here in Parma, Michigan. I'm teaching in one of the original classrooms at Parma Elementary that was built many, many years ago. My dad sat in this classroom probably in 4th or 5th grade back in the early 1960s. And then I attended school here, and I had 4th grade social studies in this room right next door. To this room is where Mrs. Collins read Hatchet to me. And now my own students, my own children are in this school. My son Breslin has 3 days left in elementary school when this video is being filmed, and he's sitting in this classroom where his grandfather sat and where his father sat. And teaching in the area that you live is really interesting because you just care about everything. Not that other people don't care about everything in their school, but I taught in another district and I cared about everything in my school and with my students, but like I didn't care about everything in like the high school sports and the politics and all of that stuff going on. But like I feel like here, like it means so much to me, and I want everything to be perfect, and I get stressed out, and I just have to try to keep my mouth shut sometimes. I don't always do a good job, but it's just because I care so much about these kids, and because they're me. Like when I see them riding their bike after school, like that was me. When they talk about riding their bike to the library, that was me. And when I see them at the Parma Party store buying a soda and a pack of baseball cards, like that was me. So this sign, I think, helps me to think about that, to think about these kids from the village, and always thinking about like where I came from and how I have been lucky enough to live my dreams, and how that's what I want for my kids. I want them to be readers, and I want them to be successful in school, but more than anything, I want them to be able to accomplish their goals and chase dreams and to dream extremely large. Just so proud to be from the village. The last question that I'm going to answer is, what advice would I have for new teachers? And I could go in a lot of different directions with this, but I think like as a new teacher coming into a new building, the most important thing, or one of the most important things that you need to do, is you need to surround yourself with awesome people. You need to make friends with people who are driven and positive and always thinking about what's best for kids, and to surround yourself with positive people and surround yourself with people who are doing everything it takes to take kids to the next level. Just like with students in our classrooms, the friends that they pick are so important to the success that they have later in life. I think the key to becoming a great teacher is to become friends with other great teachers and positive teachers. My first experience as a classroom teacher, my first job was as a 4th grade teacher in Mingus Brook Elementary, and I was teamed with Audra Boos at the time. She has been since married, and Trevor DeVoe. And I owe so much of the teacher I am today because I worked with them, and I worked alongside 2 people who cared so much about teachers and so much about kids, and they did whatever it took to make the kids just learn, and they felt so strongly about building relationships with students, and they always talked positively about kids, and because of that, that helped me to incorporate those things into my classroom. And when I switched schools and I came to Parma Elementary, I teamed up next to Mrs. Woolworth, and I was right next door. We had like a little hallway between, like a closet hallway between our 2 classes, and she is so driven and is so kid focused and will almost like kill herself health-wise to do what's best for her students, and I feel that rubbed off on me. So I feel like there's just it's so important that you surround yourself with people you want to be like. I feel like so much of myself as a teacher is because of the people that I have learned from. So new teachers, if any of you are watching, surround yourself with awesome teachers. It will make all the difference in the world. Thank you so much for checking out this video, Middle Grade Book Village. Thank you so much for having me. If you aren't familiar with the Middle Grade Book Village, I'll put the link there, and I'll put the link down in the description below, and you can check out all of the awesome work that they're doing, and you can get some great book recommendations and listen to some great podcasts. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an awesome-tastic day, and happy reading.